September, Tuesday. I had this super weird dream last night. I'm usually right about dreams because, well, mine usually suck. But this one felt different. In the dream, I was fighting some Neo Plainview enforcers. Yeah, real tough guys. And the crazy part was someone was fine with me. Like a teammate or something. The problem? I can't remember what they looked like. Kind of annoying. Right when things were getting intense, Mom woke me up. School time. Great. So, I got up, threw on some clothes, shoved some cereal on my face, and head outside. Mom always drives me to school before she heads to work. She works for this big company called Arasaka. No clue what she actually does there, but at least she's around for me. Unlike Dad and Roderick. Dad ditched us 2 years ago, and Roderick's in jail. Don't ask. Manny's with Grandma, way out of Neo Plainview. So, it's just me and Mom. School, the same boring place it's always been, run by that Arasaka company, which makes it even worse. There's this guy, Kazuo Tanaka. Just because his dad's a higher ranking Arasaka executive, he thinks he's higher than everybody in the school. Even the principal can't do anything against him. Kazuo and his gang used to pick on me and Raleigh all the time. Then one day, Raleigh, I just don't want to talk about what Raleigh did. I lost my best friend that day. Today, Kazuo roughed me up and called me poor. He also said my mom's a grade A whore.
Take this, trash bag.
That's enough, Kazuo. Walk away. Luckily, Bryce Anderson stood in the way. He may have been one of the most popular guys in the school before Kazuo, but he has a heart of gold. No wonder girls used to like him. Kazuo walked away, smiling. After school, I got back in the car with Mom and told her I wanted to quit school. She said her only wish was to see me at the Arasaka top tower floor as a CEO. Then tears came from her eyes. My son at Arasaka tower top floor. I can just see it. I knew it was my mom's big dream. I was about to say sorry, but then everything kind of went white. I heard gunshots, my mom was screaming. Thursday. It's over. I'm all alone. My mother is gone. Last Tuesday, we were on our way home when out of nowhere, there was this giant shootout right in the middle of the highway. Because of my luck, our car got mixed up in the mess and Mom got caught in the crossfire and the car flipped. I woke up upside down. My mother outside the car, unconscious. Mom! Mom! The trauma team arrived. They scanned me and my mother, but we weren't injured, so they left us to die. I got out of the car and dragged my mother to a nearby clinic. At first, she was stable, but then she was gone. Just like that. No warning. I walked home with Mom's ashes in a jar. I didn't know where she'd want to be kept. Like, which shelf? The kitchen? Her room? When I went into Mom's room to place her on the table, I saw this huge mysterious package on her bed. No name. No nothing. I opened it and almost dropped it. A Sandevestein? It looked expensive and super illegal. Suddenly, my mind went to Kazuo Tanaka, that jerk who called my mother a whore and basically made my life a living nightmare. For Mom. For Rowley. That's when I went to see Doc. Doc wasn't a real doctor, but he's the next best thing. A ripper doc with a totally sketchy workshop. He was a bit skeptical at first, but I managed to get him to do the job. I gave him all the money I had left. Not going to lie, getting a Sandevestein joint to my body hurts more than the time Haifel beat me up in 4th grade. After that, I was ready. Revenge will be mine. Friday. So, today was a bit much, even for me. But I did it. What did I do exactly? It all started when I woke up for school. I had the Sandevestein installed. Dogs said they can fry my brain if I use it too much. Honestly, my brain's scrambled eggs at this point anyways. I used the Sandevestein and just sprinted to school. It probably looked like that slow motion camera effect in the movies. Once inside, I saw Kazuo and his gang. I walked up to him. He looked at me and laughed. My Never sign activated. Time slowed down. I could see every dumb grin he and his friends made. I went for a punch. Just a regular one. Oh, with the Sandevestein, apparently my fists are about as gentle as a rocket launcher. Oh my goodness, Katsuo! He just killed him! Kill him! Blood everywhere. Katsuo collapsed. Even his friends went pale. Now, I was basically a murderer in a high school uniform. So I did the most dramatic thing ever. I leaped out of a window. Good thing the school cut corners on security, or this would be the part where I break lots of bones. I made it to 2 blocks before the pain hit. My nose bled like crazy. My head was spinning so bad. And out of nowhere, Bryce showed up. He helped me get up. He said even though Katsuo technically deserved it, I was still being reckless with the Sandevestein. He said that I am now wanted for murder. And I thought he was going to turn me in. He said offered me a place to lay low for a few days. First off, I don't know how did Bryce know that I had a Sandevestein in the first place. So I was naturally suspicious. But then again, he's here to help me. As I'm right now, I'm in Bryce's car off to some place he calls Safe Haven. If this is a trick and I died, this will be my final entry. If not, I'll write later when I get the time. Greg Heffley, out. Saturday. Okay, so update. I'm not dead yet. Bryce says writing in my journal will keep me sane. Guess he's more concerned about my health than I initially thought. Where did I even start? Oh yeah, it all started in darkness. Like, so dark. I couldn't even see my hand in front of my face. But then, the lights came on, and the first thing I saw was a girl. Not exactly my idea of a good morning. She looked cute though. She smiled, and then suddenly the rest of her gang shows up. There was Fregley, looking even weirder now, thanks to his crazy mechanical arms. Hello, Jacker. Now Fregley has transitioned from weird to mega weird. Holly Hills was there too, which totally freaked me out. She vanished from school ages ago. Not sure what her upgrades are, but honestly, I don't want to know. And then of course, Bryce, apparently, running the show. I looked down and yeah, I was tied to a chair. The girl and Fregley were chatting about the boss, and right on cue, in came Albert Sandy. The guy with all the Hollywood knowledge of baloney is now the leader of some gang. He's got a lot of mechanical parts on him, like Katsuo Tanaka, only bigger, meaner, and more likely to kill me in the next 10 minutes. Albert gets in my face and started accusing me of stealing and using his Sandevestein. Then, it hit me. That secret package is in Mom's room. I told Albert about the package, and when I mentioned my mom, he stopped. Like, really stops. Did some kind of mental math and figured out that his weapon supplier was my mother. Her ghosting him makes sense now. You can't exactly close deals when you're dead. Albert gave me a choice. Either they rip the Sandevestein out of my body, or I work for him. I chose the latter. Getting that thing installed in my body was painful, so I can imagine how much more painful it would be to take it off. At that point, the mysterious girl finally introduced herself.
I'm Rebecca.
Distant cousin of mine. Great. Another Fregley in my life. Bryce untied me and said that he trusts me, which is honestly the weirdest thing anyone has ever said to me this month. Albert, though, didn't buy it. He said that I have to prove myself to his crew. Tuesday, I was just trying not to get pants at school. Now I'm not only a murderer on the run, I'm now part of this so-called safe haven. At least that's what Bryce called it. If my mom could see me now, she'd probably just sigh and say, at least you finally joined the club. This is going to suck, but hey, at least it won't be boring. Sunday. Usually I'd be in bed all day, asleep. But no, in Safe Haven, everyone has work to do. Albert gave me a job to do. One night required me to work with Fregley's cute distant cousin Rebecca. She seemed happy with this arrangement. I'll be happy too. She didn't keep asking me, what's in the diary? I keep telling her it's a journal, but what's the point? When Mom went out to buy this thing, I specifically told her not to get the one that says diary on it. Anyways, the job was to steal a car from one of the rich Arasaka idiots and deliver it to a client. Unrelated thing, I got cybernetically enhanced lungs inside of me. Now running out of breath won't be an issue. Now about the job. Sounds easy, but since I was a wanted criminal, Neo Plainview enforcers will be looking for me. About an hour later, me and Rebecca reached the site where the car was parked, guarded by Neo Plainview enforcers. I mean, the car does belong to an Arasaka guy. Albert told me to bring the car back in one piece at all costs, so I used the Sandev sign to speed my way through the enforcers. Rebecca shot the remaining enforcers. She entered the driver's seat of the car and smiled at me. I sat next to her. She hotwired the car and drove it. The next thing that happened was utter chaos. She drove the car like a drunk orangutan. If orangutans ever go drunk or drive cars. Neo Plainview enforcers were behind us. They were shooting at us. I used the Sandev sign to jump out of the car and onto the enforcer's car. I punched through the window, knocking the enforcers out. Then, I sprinted back to Rebecca. We were able to escape from the enforcers, and the car, well, had a few scratches. But hey, a win's a win. Albert smiled but said nothing. Bryce congratulated us and said we would make a good team and that there'd be more missions for us in the future. After that day, Rebecca didn't feel like a friendly clone after all. I don't know, something about her felt different. And yes, I bled again. Overuse of the Sandev sign, blah blah blah. Rebecca bought me some medical supplies from Doc. Yeah, she kind of reminded me of Rowdy. Monday. What am I supposed to write in here? Rebecca stole my journal and read it. I was half expecting her to call me a weirdo and laugh at me. But instead, she asked me about Rowley. Now, I admit, I've avoided writing about Rowley ever since that incident. It's nowhere in this journal. I hesitated at first, thinking she would take it as a joke, but her eyes were dead serious, so I told her everything. Rowley was my best friend. We used to hang out and play, maybe both. But one day, that jackal Katsuo Tanaka transferred to our school. He and his gang picked on me and Rowley every day, and we couldn't do anything about it. Katsuo's dad was a higher ranking Arasaka executive, and Arasaka basically owned the school me and Rowley used to go to. Rowley couldn't take it anymore. That poor, innocent person cut himself in his bathtub using a kitchen knife. Rebecca looked away for a moment. Then, she told me to continue. How was I supposed to continue? I went to his funeral. His parents were crying, and there was Katsuo and his gang laughing. I still remember it, how much I've wanted to hurt him. Rebecca must have saw that look in my face, because she said she's lost someone too. Someone just like Rowley. Looks like we both had something in common. She handed my journal back and said that I looked cute too. I didn't know how to react to that comment, but I did head back to my room. This time, I hid the journal under my bed. I better be careful with what I write in this journal from now onwards. Monday, I got guns implanted on both my arms. Now I can use my video game skills to use these guns during battle. Albert told me that it was time I ditched that t-shirt I always wore, so I did. It felt great. I looked like a total badass. I think I also grew an inch taller because when I stood next to Rebecca, she seemed short. Or was she always short? Anyways, me and Rebecca were assigned another job. This time, Holly was with us on this one. Me and Holly never talked. Not once. Not even at school. Even before she mysteriously disappeared. Back then, she mistook me for Fregley. That's when I realized she wasn't worth the effort. Plus, she likes Bryce. Even now, Bryce is the only one she talks to. Holly is a netrunner. She's a skilled hacker who uses cybernetic interface to navigate and infiltrate the digital world to steal valuable data, corporate secrets, and other things like digital money. The job for today was to hack into a corporate bank and steal money enough to last for a while. It sounded like child's play, but in order for it to be successful, Holly must succeed in doing the hacking stuff. Me and Rebecca were just Holly's bodyguards. When we entered the fan, there was a bathtub filled with ice-cold water. Holly stripped nude. I looked away. I connected wires into her head. Then she entered the bathtub and laid in it, like she was taking a bath. Rebecca drove us to the bank. This time around, she drove less like a drunk orangutan. She has been awfully quiet ever since she read my journal. We reached the bank. Me and Rebecca waited outside. Suddenly, Neo Plainview enforcers came to us. Their drones scanned us. I was classified as a wanted criminal? Rebecca gave me the look. She wanted to fight. I filled my guns. So did Rebecca. We were beside each other.
Come on, let's go! Let's run dry! Got a little bitch out of juice, sucker up!
Suddenly I remembered the dream. I was fighting Neo-Plainfield forces, and the mysterious figure was Rebecca. Was that dream a vision into my future? After we were done with the enforcers, I felt like my brain was on fire. My nose bled. It felt even worse than usual. Rebecca came just in time with the meds. I was fine, for now. Holly radioed us that the job is done. She's got the cash stored in Safe Haven account. So far, my life has been running on the edge, and I honestly don't know where it will lead me next. Tuesday, Brass asked me to meet him at the rooftop, and so I did. Brass said that he and Albert were very proud of me and Rebecca. He then told me about Holly. He told me it was Holly's dream to go to the moon, away from Neo Plainview. That's the reason they've been collecting enough money, so that the whole crew can tag along with her. The crew is like her only family. Her parents had sold her off to Arasaka, and the corpus turned her into a netrunner. That explained why she disappeared from school a while back. Her friends told me that she had moved to Japan. That was 2 years ago. About the same time Dad left us. I asked Bryce why he's telling me all of this. He replied that she may seem angry around me, but she's been through a lot. Heck, everybody in Safe Haven has been through a lot. Fregley lost his mother, Rebecca lost not only her brother but also a friend. Suddenly, I wanted to do something, and I didn't want to be alone. I called Rebecca and Fregley. We went to the van. I told Fregley to drive us to a place where we can get a drink and a few hours of fun without fearing the Neo Plainfield forces. Rebecca smiled. Fregley laughed and said,
"Oh, Gregory, you should have asked earlier. This is going to be a blast."
Wednesday. The only reason I'm able to write now is because I'm alive. For now. I never thought the boogeyman would be real. Until now. It all started when me, Rebecca, and Fregley drove to an old-fashioned bar. Look, I don't like to drink. I just wanted to go someplace away from Safe Haven and be with Rebecca for a moment. I didn't mind the fact that Fregley was there with us. He was busy with the ladies in the bar. I don't know how he's basically Bryce 2.0 with the ladies, but he just does it. Anyways, about Rebecca, she's different. She's caring, cute, and has a daring personality, and I like her. The last person I liked was Holly Hills, but she's in Bryce's arms. I should tell Rebecca how I felt about her, but right when I was about to make my move, this happened. So, Greg, are you, seeing anyone right now? Without thinking, I said, I'm seeing you. Fregley laughed at me. Before realizing what I just said, she blushed. I said something stupid, didn't I? Neo Plainfield enforcers entered the bar, but there was someone else, someone big, like a nightmare monster from my dream. One of the enforcers called out a warning to me and Rebecca, saying they will have to use force if we don't turn ourselves in. Then, the large figure spoke.
Greg Heffley, how's Mom?
Mom? Why is he asking about my mom? He then stepped out of the shadows.
Mom always used to hold me back.
Dork. That line, dorking figure, was Roderick, my brother. But that's not possible. He's supposed to be in jail. He's just another criminal, same as me. And yet, he's here with enforcers by his side. Fregley, he ran towards Roderick.
For mommy, for Pilar.
Then, Roderick fired a missile at Fregley. The blast knocked me and Rebecca off our feet. When the smoke cleared, all that's left was Fregley's charred remains. Rebecca was in tears. I carried her out and used the Sandeverstein to escape. But Roderick was right behind me. Even he had a Sandeverstein. He shot a missile at us. He clearly wanted us dead. We were supposed to die, but I was able to hide behind a boulder just in time for the missile to explode. After I heard Roderick say, "You can't hide forever, Greg," I felt tears running down my cheeks. Rebecca was in tears too. She hugged me. I held her tightly. First Rowley, then Mom, now Fregley. Even though I never really engaged with him that much, I still consider him as a friend. And now, Roderick's a monster. I don't know how or why, but it certainly has something to do with Arasaka. They must have cleared his records and turned him into a cyber beast. But if Arasaka can clear any criminal record, maybe they can clear mine too. It all started when Holly hacked into Arasaka's database. She pulled up Roderick's file. Apparently he was in jail for noise pollution and disturbing the peace. Makes sense since his music, to my ears, is straight up noise. A very bad noise. Anyways, Roderick got enrolled for the enhancement program. Newsflash, everyone except for Roderick died during the program. Roderick was given state-of-the-art weaponry and various cybernetic enhancements. He now calls himself Adam Smasher to further remove his past as Roderick, my older brother. Suddenly, Neo-Plainview enforcers broke into Safe Haven. Bryce had called them, said I was responsible for Fregley, and then the craziest thing happened. They shot Bryce, and from behind me, I heard Albert scream. We were surrounded, me, Holly, and Rebecca. Holly hacked into the enforcer's van nearby and caused the siren to go off. While everybody was distracted, we made a dash towards our van. Rebecca drove us off. Holly started crying. She was like, Bryce didn't mean to do it, and I would have snapped her neck if she wasn't the only hacker or netrunner we knew. By the way, I didn't feel like drawing her damn expressions. I draw what I like, and whenever I like it. With that ran out of the way, I knew something was off. If Arasaka erased Roderick's history of crime, if being nosy counts as a crime, maybe they have a software of sorts that can do the same for me and what remained of Safe Haven. Once I come up with a plan, I'll carry it out immediately. This may be my final journal entry. If I die tomorrow, I have a special message to Rebecca. I love you. Saturday. Well, I'm alive. Here's what happened. We arrived inside the HQ of Arasaka. It was just me and Rebecca. Holly stayed inside the van. She wasn't useless though. She hacked the entrance, giving us access to enter the building. The rest was total carnage. We go inside the elevator. And yes, Rebecca read my journal again. I saw the note I left. Things were awkward at first. Then she kissed me on the cheek. She told me that she loved me and that there's more waiting after this whole mess is cleared. We reached the top floor. My son, at Arasaka top floor. I could just see it. Yes, Mom. I did it. I'm at the top floor of this damned corporation. It was unusually empty. Rebecca got on the computer and pinged Holly. Holly found both of our files and in a few seconds cleared our criminal records. We were free. But then, we had a crash on Holly's end. The last thing she said on comms was, "Go to the moon for me, guys." Before I heard Roderick's maniacal laugh, I decided that I wanted to give him what I felt for the past few days. Nothing but pain. I opened up Roderick's file and added some made-up cases against him. Typical corporate mindset indeed. By the time I was done, Roderick came into the room via stairs. Overweight. Me and Rebecca jumped out. Some pop or electronic music started playing from the computer as we jumped. We landed on the secondary rooftop of Arasaka HQ. Adam Roderick Smasher was there. He asked me if I had any last words. I looked up. Drones, shuttles, and helicopters arrived. They started shooting at Roderick, now a wanted fugitive and a cyber psycho. While Roderick was dealing with the Neo-Plainview enforcers, the trauma team arrived. I was naturally peed at them, but I had no choice. We had to get away from Roderick. And so, we did. October. Wednesday. It's been a few weeks since I wrote in this journal. Well, I had things to do. By the way, me and Rebecca went on a trip to the moon. It was amazing. We felt the coldness of space and the heat of the sun right through our spacesuits. I was going to take pictures of me and Rebecca on the moon, but I didn't feel like ruining the magic. If magic even exists. I mean, Twisted Wizard had magic, and I never stopped to take a picture every time I won. So don't get mad at me for not including photos of us on the moon. Expensive? Yes. Was it worth it? Absolutely. And when we returned, Rebecca gave me another kiss, solidifying our relationship. Grandma wrote to me saying if I ever needed a place to stay, I'm always welcome there. Well, no way in heck am I going to stay with that rodent Manny. Roderick hasn't been seen since that incident. I feel that he will be back more powerful than ever. For that, I'll be ready. We will be ready. Greg Heffley, out. And man, that's the end. It's going to be continued in WimpyKid Neo-Plainview Uprising. So yeah, stay tuned for that, yeah.